¿Qué pasa, estudiantes? What's up, students? Let's talk about the American Council of the Teaching of Foreign Languages World Readiness Standards. That's the ACTFL World Readiness Standards for Learning Languages. So when you think of this class, don't think of it as an opportunity to get fluent in Spanish in 7 weeks. That's just not realistic. That won't quite happen, and that's fine. What this class prepares you for is going out and learning language in the real world by building relationships with cultures and communities. Really communicating with others outside of the classroom is where language is learned. So this is kind of like a language readiness course. And what we follow here are the ACTFL's goal areas and standards. First, in communication, looking at interpersonal, that's writing and speaking focused. Then interpretive, listening and reading. And finally, presentational, designing presentations as you'll do in this class. And the framework of the class really centers on cultures, specifically interacting with cultures of the Spanish-speaking world here in the United States, as well as in international settings. This looks at cultural practices, the things that people do within cultures, the actions and practices of those cultures as they're related to what are called perspectives, or ways of thinking and value systems and viewpoints within cultures. In addition to that, there are cultural products, physical objects or abstract nouns, basically the things that make up our cultures. And this might sound kind of abstract now, that's fine, but we'll start to look at specific examples in this course of cultural products, practices, and perspectives. With that, you start to make connections to these different cultures and perspectives, these connections to your own culture, as well as various cultures that you're learning about. Furthermore, you make those cultural comparisons. You also make language comparisons, seeing similarities and differences between English, Spanish, Spanglish, or the various languages that you speak can really help you develop your linguistic repertoire and your linguistic identity. Basically, learning more languages makes you better at the languages you already know, and that's a great way to use a base or a foundation for learning those languages. Finally is communities, and the most important part of learning a language is making connections with communities. That could be school and global communities, as well as communities for lifelong learning. You can seek out opportunities to build relationships with people who speak Spanish right here in our area. You start to develop those relationships, integrate within communities, and really see where language learning takes hold. So this is called the ACTFL framework for learning languages, or the World Readiness Standards for learning languages, and this will shape much of how we learn in this class. Understand? ¿Entiendes? Muy bien. Adiós.